You have nothing. No money standing behind your name, no powerful friends who answer on the first ring, no title that makes a room go quiet when you walk in. You have watched men with half your mind walk into places you cannot get near. You have felt the exact humiliation of being talked over, overlooked, forgotten before you even left the room. And somewhere along the way, a voice convinced you that this is simply your place. That voice is lying to you. Niccolo Machiavelli understood this over 500 years ago, and he did not learn it from comfort. He learned it stripped of his office, tortured, and thrown into exile with nothing but a pen. From that pit, he wrote the coldest manual on power ever put to paper. He proved that power is not inherited, it is not granted, it is not waiting somewhere for the world to finally hand it to you. It is built, deliberately, coldly, from nothing, by men who learned the rules the comfortable never had to learn, and used them without apology. Today, I am going to hand you 10 of those rules. So sit down, lock in, and listen carefully, because what you are about to learn will change the way you move through this world forever. The nature of power. Before you can build power, you have to see it clearly, and almost everything you have been taught about it is a lie designed to keep you still. You were told that power comes from money. It does not. Money is a result of power, not its source. You were told that power comes from position, from a title handed down by someone above you. It does not. The title only names the power that was already taken. Real power is something quieter and far more dangerous. It is the ability to make people act, to bend a room, a deal, an outcome toward you without ever raising your voice. Machiavelli watched men with armies lose, and men with nothing but nerve win. He saw that fortune controls perhaps half of what happens to us, and the other half she leaves in our own hands. Most men surrender their half without a fight. They wait to be chosen. You are going to stop waiting. The man who builds from nothing has one advantage the comfortable will never have. He has nothing left to protect. And a man who cannot be threatened with loss is the most dangerous man alive. Let me show you exactly what powerlessness looks like. The weak man waits. He waits to be noticed. He waits for permission. He believes that if he is good enough, quiet enough, patient enough in the way a servant is patient, someone with authority will eventually reach down and lift him up. So he performs. He agrees when he wants to argue. He laughs when nothing is funny. He hands his loyalty to whoever is nearest and calls it friendship. And when he is passed over again, he is genuinely shocked. He tells himself the game is rigged, that the winners were lucky, that the world is unfair. All of it a story to explain why he never moved. The weak man also broadcasts everything. He announces his plans before he has done a single thing. He shows his ambition to men who profit from crushing it. He confuses being liked with being respected, and the two are almost never the same thing. Machiavelli warned that a man who wishes to make a profession of goodness in everything must come to ruin among so many who are not good. The weak man never absorbs this. He stays soft in a hard world and calls it virtue. But you will be different. You are going to learn to take. Now meet the other kind of man. The man who starts with nothing and ends holding everything. He does not wait to be chosen. He calculates. He looks at the little he has, his time, his attention, his silence, his nerve, and he asks one question the weak man never asks. What is the most advantageous move I can make with exactly what is in my hand right now? He does not mourn what he lacks. He weaponizes what he has. He understands that power is a game of perception and position long before it is a game of resources. And here is what makes him terrifying. He is patient in a way that looks like weakness until the moment it becomes a blade. He builds in the dark. He says little. And by the time the comfortable men notice him, he is already standing above them, and they cannot remember how he got there. He did not get lucky. He followed rules, in order, without flinching. This is the man you are about to become. These are his 10 brutal laws, and each one costs you something the old you was too afraid to pay. The first law: build in silence and let them underestimate you. Your invisibility right now feels like a curse. It is your greatest weapon. When no one expects anything from you, no one guards against you. The men above you defend themselves against rivals they can see. They never watch the quiet one in the corner. So stay quiet. Stop announcing. Stop posting your ambition for applause you have not earned. Every plan you speak aloud is a plan you hand to someone who can stop it. Machiavelli wrote that everyone sees what you appear to be, but few experience what you really are. Become unreadable. Let them think you are harmless. Let them think you are behind. While they perform, you prepare. Disappear for 6 months and let them forget your name. No announcements, no updates. Just the work, done in the dark where no one can interfere with it and no one can steal it. Then re-emerge, built, heavier and sharper than they remembered.
One day you step into the light already finished, and their shock is the sweetest proof that the law worked. The lion frightens the wolves, but the man who moves in silence frightens the lions. The second law: make yourself the one thing they cannot replace. Power does not come from being liked, it comes from being needed. Look at any room, any company, any circle, and find the flow of things people depend on, the skill no one else has, the door only you can open, the problem only you can solve. Then become that flow. Thomas Cromwell was the son of a blacksmith in Putney, a nobody with no name and no birthright in a world obsessed with both. But he made himself the one man who could solve the one problem that consumed a king. He mastered law, money, and administration so completely that Henry VIII could not run his kingdom without him, and a blacksmith's son rose to become the most powerful minister in England. He did not ask for status. He made himself indispensable, and status had no choice but to follow. Find the flow they cannot do without. Then put yourself in the middle of it and become the valve. When removing you would cost them more than keeping you, you are no longer asking for a seat, you are holding one. Indispensability is a fortress no envy can storm. The third law: control the perception before you own the reality. People do not respond to what you are. They respond to what they believe you are. This is not permission to lie. It is a command to manage the signal you send before you have the substance to back it, so the substance is allowed to grow. Carry yourself like a man with somewhere to be. Walk slower than the anxious men around you. Speak less, and let the silence imply a depth they cannot measure. Dress one level above where you actually stand. The eye decides before the mind can argue, and you are dressing for the eye. Machiavelli understood that men judge more by the eye than by the hand, because everyone can see, but few can truly touch and test. Most people never test. They take the surface as the truth. So give them a surface that opens doors, then walk through those doors and become worthy of them on the other side. Perception is the scaffolding. You build the real structure behind it where no one is looking. The fourth law: weaponize patience, because time is the one weapon you already own in full. The weak man is always in a hurry. He wants the reward before the work, the title before the wait. His impatience makes him easy to read and easy to bait. The man building from nothing does the opposite. He treats time as an ally, not an enemy. He waits for the exact moment when a single move does the work of 100. Napoleon Bonaparte was a poor outsider from Corsica, mocked for his accent, overlooked by the well-born officers around him. He did not force his rise. He waited, prepared, and when a single opening appeared at the siege of Toulon, he struck with everything he had and made himself impossible to ignore overnight. Patience is not passivity. Patience is a loaded weapon held perfectly still. You wait and you watch, and when the moment comes, you do not hesitate. You detonate. The fifth law: guard your information like it is your blood. Every secret you keep is power stored. Every secret you spill is power given away, for the cheap pleasure of being interesting for 10 seconds. The weak man tells you his fears, his plans, his weaknesses, and he calls it honesty. It is not honesty, it is surrender. When people cannot read you, they cannot counter you. When they do not know what you want, they cannot use what you want against you. So say less than you feel. Reveal less than you know. Let your moves speak after they land, never before. Machiavelli praised the leaders who kept their true intentions hidden until the very moment of action. A plan known is a plan defeated. Guard your next move the way a soldier guards the last weapon he has. Your silence is not emptiness. It is a locked vault. And the man whose vault cannot be opened is the man who cannot be robbed. The sixth law: attach yourself to power. Learn everything, then outgrow it. When you have nothing, you cannot build in total isolation. You need proximity to men who already hold what you want. So get close. Make yourself useful to them. Serve, watch, and absorb every lesson their position can teach you. How they speak, how they decide, how they handle men. But never mistake the ladder for the roof.
The servant who serves forever dies a servant. Cromwell first served Cardinal Wolsey, the most powerful man in England, and learned the machinery of the state at his side. When Wolsey fell, Cromwell did not fall with him. He had taken the knowledge, built his own base, and stepped directly into the king's service, larger than the man he had learned from. Use proximity as a school, never as a home. Study the man above you the way a spy studies a target, his methods, his contacts, his blind spots. Take the fire he would never teach you on purpose.
Then walk out and build your own, larger than his.
The seventh law. Turn having nothing into total boldness. This is the law the comfortable can never use, and it is your sharpest edge. A man with much to lose hesitates. He calculates the downside, protects his position, moves like a man crossing ice. You have no ice to protect. You have nothing to lose, which means you can move with a boldness that terrifies men who have everything. Temujin, the boy who became Genghis Khan, was cast out onto the open steppe as a child, his family abandoned to die, stripped of every protection a person can have. He had nothing. And because he had nothing, he dared everything, uniting scattered tribes into the force that built the largest empire the world had ever seen. Machiavelli said fortune favors the bold, that she yields to the men who seize her rather than the men who wait. Your emptiness is not your shame. It is your permission to gamble while richer men sit frozen over everything they are terrified to lose.
That freedom has an expiry date. The moment you finally have something to protect, your own nerve will start arguing against you. So use the boldness of nothing now, while it is still total.
The eighth law. Never let them smell your desperation. Power flows toward the man who does not seem to need it and away from the man who does. Desperation is a stench. People feel it before you speak, and it makes them close their hands and their doors. The weak man chases. He overasks, overexplains, overfollows, and every hungry move lowers his price. You must do the opposite. Move as if you have options, even on the days you have almost none. Ask once, cleanly, and then let the silence do the pressing for you. Do not send the second message. Do not fill the pause. Walk away from a bad deal like a man with 10 better ones waiting in his pocket, and watch how fast the terms improve. Scarcity of need creates value. When people sense that your attention is not for sale to anyone who wants it, they begin to want it badly. The moment you stop chasing power is the moment power begins to chase you. The ninth law. Build a reputation that walks into the room before you do. Your name is your true fortune, and it fights battles while you sleep. Reputation is built the same way from nothing that it is built from wealth, by delivering, relentlessly, until your word becomes a thing men rely on and fear to cross. Be excellent at one thing until no one can deny it. Be consistent under pressure until people learn you cannot be rattled. Keep your promises so exactly that a promise from you carries the weight of a contract. Machiavelli knew that a reputation for a certain quality often serves a man better than the quality itself. Men act on the reputation, not the reality hiding behind it. Guard it like the treasure it is. It takes years to build and one careless act to burn. But once it is built, your name arrives before you, opens doors before you knock, and defends you in rooms you will never enter. The 10th law. Burn the retreat and make yourself impossible to ignore. There comes a point where quiet building is no longer enough, where you must commit so completely that failure stops being an option you can afford. The men who conquered from nothing understood this. They cut off their own escape on purpose, because a man with no way back fights with a force that a comfortable man cannot match. Remove your safety nets. Stop keeping one quiet foot in the small, safe life that gives you permission to quit. That comfortable exit in the back of your mind is the exact reason you keep taking it. Cut it off. Pour everything you have into the rise until turning back would cost you more than pushing forward ever could. When you move like a man who cannot lose because he has nothing to return to, people feel it. They step aside. They sense a man who has burned the boats, and they do not want to be standing between him and the shore. This is where nothing finally becomes everything. Master these 10 laws, and something happens that the powerless never believe until they feel it. The waiting stops. The permission you spent your whole life seeking becomes irrelevant because you have stopped asking. You walk differently. You speak differently. You stop flinching in rooms that used to shrink you. And the men who once looked through you now watch you carefully because they sense the shift and cannot name it. You have become the one thing the comfortable fear most, a man who started with nothing, and therefore cannot be controlled by the threat of losing anything. You cannot be bought. You were never for sale. You cannot be broken by loss, having already climbed up out of it. This is the moment you say it quietly, the way a plain fact is said. I build from nothing, not as a hope, as a description of what you have become. Now let me remove the last blindfold, because there is a truth beneath all 10 laws, and it is the hardest one to hold. Machiavelli did not write for dreamers. He wrote for men willing to see human nature exactly as it is. And the truth is this: the world does not reward the good, it rewards the effective. People respect strength and quietly despise weakness, no matter what their mouths say. They will not lift you because you deserve it. Deserving is a currency the world does not accept. They will only respect what you build and fear what you might do. No one is coming to save you. Not a mentor, not a system, not a lucky break waiting patiently with your name on it. The men at the top were not lifted there by a kind world. They stopped waiting for kindness and took their half of fortune with both hands. And envy will follow you the moment you begin to rise. It will wear the face of people who smile at you. Expect it. Your success is an accusation read aloud to everyone who chose comfort, and they will never forgive you for proving it was a choice. This is not cruelty. It is the water you have always been swimming in, finally made visible. Once you see it, you can never be drowned by it again. You have simply stopped expecting the water to be air. You have made it to the end, but this is not really an ending. The real enemy was never the men above you, or the doors that stayed closed, or the fortune that seemed to skip your name. The real enemy is the man you were before this, the version of you that waited to be chosen, the version that asked permission to exist and mistook that begging for humility, the version that broadcast every plan, chased every scrap of approval, and called his own passivity patience. That man is the reason you have nothing, and today you bury him. Kill him with silence. Kill him with boldness. Kill him with a standard so high the old you could never survive a single week beneath it. He will fight to live. He will whisper that this is simply who you are, that the rooms above you were never meant for you, that it is safer to stay small. Do not argue with him. Just bury him a little deeper every day until his voice is finally gone. Tomorrow you will walk into the same rooms, past the same faces, but you will no longer be a man waiting for a hand to reach down. You will be the hand. Machiavelli handed us the blueprint 5 centuries ago from the bottom of his own ruin, and human nature has not changed a single degree since. The men who build from nothing have always used these laws. Now they are yours. I build from nothing. No one can save you. No one can do this work for you. No mentor is going to arrive with the power you were owed, because you were never owed anything, and the sooner that truth stops wounding you, the sooner it starts freeing you. This is not a choice you make once. It is a discipline you renew every single day, in every room where the old instinct to shrink comes crawling back. So make the first move now. In the comments below, write these words: I build from nothing, not as a wish, as a declaration, to yourself, and to every future version of you that will be tested. If this reached something in you, if you felt the shift while you listened, hit the like button. It costs you nothing, and it tells me this work is finding the men it was written for. Subscribe and turn on notifications, because this channel is a long, cold study of power, and the men who study it stop being the ones it is used against. You started this video with nothing. You are leaving it with the blueprint. Now go build. I build from nothing. Now prove it.